Hey there YouTube, it's me, Josh, and welcome to my next film review. Okay, surprisingly, we're back to the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. I've done reviews on the first 6 movies, and now I'm going to do the 7th, and it is called, see, that's my Nightmare on Elm Street collection, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And just as a heads up, there are no spoilers in this review until the end, and I will warn you before they are coming, so right now you don't need to worry about spoilers. Okay, so I love the Nightmare on Elm Street series. I thought that 1, 2 and 3 were just a great trilogy, but once it got to 4, they were still good, but they went downhill. 5 was okay, I guess, but I really did not like the 6th one. So I was wondering, why are they still making more after the 6th one, which really wasn't very good? Well, surprisingly, guys, for me, Wes Craven's New Nightmare brings us right back to the glory days in Nightmare on Elm Street, and it is actually a very decent movie. And it is actually my 3rd favourite in the whole franchise. No, sorry, my 4th favourite, but it still brings us back to the glory days of Nightmare on Elm Street, which is good. Okay, so I'll just give a brief summary of the plot. Okay, now, Wes Craven's New Nightmare is about something completely different. It is about Heather Langenkamp, who's playing herself, and she and her son are beginning to have nightmares about Freddy Krueger. But this time, Freddy is a lot more realistic than in the movies. It is a movie within a movie. So I thought that was cool. This one feels a lot more real than the other ones. And Freddy seems to be targeting Nancy's son, who I can't remember his name, and also Wes Craven, who also plays himself in this movie. He says that Freddy has now come out of films and into reality. He says that Fred Krueger was once this old supernatural being that has been around for thousands of years, and when they made movies about him, that trapped him, and now the movies have finished. Freddy's come out to haunt the people who made the movie, and he says that the only way to stop it is to make another movie. And Robert Englund, who plays both himself and the new Freddy Krueger, is also in this. Not a massive role, well, not as big as I would like to him have been in, but he was in a few scenes, as was the guy who played Nancy's father. He also played himself, so it was interesting. The new Freddy look I thought was cool. It's basically very different to the other ones. There's like an extra layer of burn on him, and I thought that was cool. So they did a good job with the new Freddy look. and the acting is really good. I thought that Heather Langenkamp did a great job as herself. Sorry, Wes Craven. Again, he wasn't in it heaps, but for the time he was in it, he did a great job. And so most people did a good job. The only person who I thought was a bit of a weak actor was Nancy's husband, but he's not in the film that much anyway. Um, my only real major letdown about the movie is that there were a few jokes in it, and I thought it would have been cool if there weren't any jokes in it at all, and just have Freddy being dead serious. But other than that, it's a really good movie. Okay, now I'm going to talk about some spoilers, so if you have not seen the movie, get out now, because I'm going to ruin it for you. Okay, so the first um scene that surprised me in this movie was the opening scene, where you think it's gonna be like, it's similar to the start of the first Nightmare on Elm Street, and you get all scared, but then it turns out that it's just Wes Craven and the crew filming it, and that was cool. And then it's just a dream, and they get woken up by the dream by the earthquake. So the earthquake concept was good. And another scene that really stuck with me was the scene on the playground where Nancy's son is about to jump off. That scene was really awesome. Um, and everything at the hospital was cool too. Like, the nurse people sometimes really annoyed you, but in a good way, at how they thought that Heather, sorry, I keep calling her Nancy, but in the movie her name's Heather, as it is in real life. Uh, they think that Heather is nuts because she believes in Freddy, and they think that she should not be showing her son the movies. But in one scene of the movie, you see her son watching the movie, and Nancy tells her off for watching them because they're inappropriate for his age. So yeah, that was cool. And the final thing I want to talk about, it's near the beginning, is the bit where it's probably the most famous scene in the movie, when Heather is being interviewed on TV, and then Robert Englund dressed up as Freddy Krueger comes on stage. I thought that was really cool, and that was an actual interview, and Wes Craven loved it so much that he wanted to put it in the movie. Okay, that's all. Thanks for watching, guys. Sleep tight.